Hey guys, how you doing? It's KJ coming today once again in Raid Shadow Legends, and after the announcement of the Drop Fever events coming over the next few days, we got Savage artifacts from Fire Knights going to be on a double chance, and Speed artifacts from the Dragon's Lair. There is a reason that Krakens and Whales will all come out and be throwing all of their energy at these events, and that is because these are some of the best artifact sets you can use in game. A lot of end game players and mid game players will be using them as soon as they're able to start putting nukers and damage dealers in Savage gear. They will. And of course, all of their speed leads and their fastest champs are going to be in speed set artifacts. So with that in mind, and the conversations I've been having with various people over on Discord, let's jump in. I'm going to show you some examples of teams in Arena and why these sets are useful, where you'd use them, what you'd use them for, and give you some example teams. So without any further ado, let's jump straight in. All right, the first champion we're going to take a look at is Haikatoon. She's your 30-day login champion. Everyone gets her. You get her relatively early on in the game, and she will hard carry your Arena teams for quite some time. It'll either be until you pull a better speed champion or till you get Arbiter, whichever one comes first. There are alternatives. The main two, of course, everyone knows are Haikatoon and Arbiter. The builds for Arena for both champions will be exactly the same, and that is purely based around as much speed as you can get. So I haven't put all of my fastest gear on Haikatoon, mainly because I don't want to move gear off my Arbiters and my Clan Boss team and people like that who get Haikatoon as fast as I can to then not use her. So my Haikatoon, as you can see, all speed gear. Speed main stat boots. These are only 5-star uncommon boots, but you get the idea. So early game, these will probably be some of the best boots on your account because they are 5-star speed main stat boots. That is the main purpose of this champion, is to go as fast as possible. So, of course, we have the speed main stat boots. Chest, doesn't matter what main stat it is. Speed substat. You'd usually like as many rolls as you can in speed. This piece only has 1. But that still gives me another 8 speed. Gloves. Once again, speed substat and glyphed. These were horrendous rolls. Shield. Again, double speed roll on this. So speed substat once again with rolls in speed. Helmet, same again. Speed, no rolls. Weapon, just a speed set. So we'll see if we can perfect this, shall we? Weapon, substat, speed, speed set. That's already rolled. There we go. That's already rolled. Pop that on. There we go. So that's 230 speed already. To the top row. That's all of this. Speed set. So we've currently got 4 speed. See if we can do any better. 11, 12. 12 speed here. Would equip it. Why not? Shield is currently 18 speed. I don't think we're going to be able to do any better with gear that's not currently equipped. But everything there is about getting Haikatoon to go as fast as she possibly can. And with just the bits of gear I've got lying around, not rolling anything, I've already got 238 speed. So if you're in bronze, silver, or low gold, that's actually quite a reasonable speed. That's quite a lot of speed to get early game, I know, but... And that's including the +6 Faction Guardians, but as much speed as you can get. It doesn't have to be 238. If your fastest champion can only hit 202 speed, run your Haikatoon at 202 speed. And I know a lot of people say they struggle for speed, but if you go to Hellhades website and you have a look at the free-to-play competition and see how fast people have already got their champions, and they're less than 30 days into the game, and there are people who are already running well over 200 speed on their fastest champion. I think Hellhades himself has a 202 speed Kayle. So he's not really... So that's not even his speed lead. He's running a Kayle at 202 speed. But for the purposes of Arena, your fastest gear is on your fastest champion. which will be Haikatoon, Arbiter, or someone else with a speed boost, I think. And then the direct upgrade, of course, to Haikatoon is Arbiter. To mine, as you can see, I've got a divine speed set on. That's just because it's my divine speed set here is faster than any other speed set I have, but it's the fastest gear I can find, and I've got up to 324 speed. Even a banner, look, speed roll with a speed glyph. I have other gear I could roll to try and make it faster. Only really at the top end of gold 4, gold 5, or if you're trying to push up into plat, you need to be worrying about which side of 350 speed you're on. There are people now who are running 400 plus speed champions that aren't speed boosters. But for the purposes of a general team to try and build your great haul, use a speed boost champion like Arbiter or Haikatoon. And then you can go, there are two ways you can go at that point. My preferred method, I would go speed booster into another speed booster, so Apothecary at this point, because he's got an increased speed and a turn meter fill, and he's A3. He would then be your second fastest champion. My Apothecary, currently at 204, if he would probably have to be about 210 speed to make sure I didn't get cut in on, and would go second after he'd had his speed boosted by Haikatoon. And he'd then come in and do the same thing again. He'd just make everybody faster and fill their turn meter. That then means that the third champion, who in my preferred way would be a drop defense champion, like War Maiden, who would be your third fastest champion, but they can then be that little bit slower. So without an Apothecary, at 240 speed Haikatoon, you're then going to need a 215 speed drop defense champion, a 210 speed increase attack champion, and a 200 speed nuker. Whereas if you go speed boost, drop defense, nuke, so this team was actually tuned before I adjusted Haikatoon's build. So when she was, I think she was 224 speed originally. So at 224 speed for Haikatoon, I then needed to run Apothecary at 204. War Maiden. Look, I haven't even fully geared her, fully leveled everything. At 172 speed. That's a 32 drop in speed because I've gone speed into drop defense. Another great example of someone who can do this very well, Madame Cerise. She's actually my preferred drop defense champion when you move later game and you've got her. But War Maiden is a farmable champion. She is free to get. She is free to book. So I've booked War Maiden out using dupes. I haven't 6-starred my War Maiden, but I've built her out. I've used dupes to get her up to pretty much fully booked. It's only really her A3 you need booked for arena content, but booking out her A1 and A2 will help you in other content. She can be used then in faction wars and things like that, early game dungeons, mid game dungeons. She could be your only decreased defense champion for quite some time, but she will do the job well. She's easy to tune, she's easy to book. Once again, 172 speed, and all I've done, got her accuracy as high as I can while maintaining her speed. That's all we need. So our first two champions, Haikatoon, all speed. Apothecary, all speed, slightly slower than Haikatoon. War Maiden, correct speed, and then just accuracy. You can get a crit rate up, great, she can do a bit of damage, but accuracy to make sure she's landing her decreased defense. And then finally you follow that up with the nuke. So early game, that would be your starter champion. Hail, for example, in this point. This is where the drop events going on over the next week or so actually come into play. So we've got speed gear on our speed champions. What gear do we put on our damage dealers? Savage. Your Savage set ignores 25% of the enemy defense. Then I've got a Cruel set on here as well, which ignores 5% of the enemy defense and gives us 15% more attack. Now, this isn't, great, brilliant Savage gear. It's not ideal Savage gear that I'd be running on people at the point I'm at, but it shows that this is why Wales and Kraken jump at these events, because it makes their arena teams so much easier to run, to build, and to actually do damage and climb through arenas and get your Great Hall built faster. And now, as I said, this team was tuned, and Cal's at 163 speed. That's quite a reasonable speed to get to, considering you then also have to pump crit rate, crit damage, and attack. So be able to drop his speed makes it easier to get his crit rate, crit damage, and attack up as well. Whereas if you've still got to try and pump him up to 180 speed, I'd probably lose. I couldn't run a Savage set for a start. I probably couldn't get his crit damage up as high as it is, or his attack up as high as it is. That's why a double speed is my preferred method early game or arena. And then, as I said, you change it out as you progress. All right, there we go, guys. That is an example of an arena team, example of alternatives you can use in arena for each position, how you sort of build them, what sort of thing you're looking for. So I hope you learned something new. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. And thank you for watching. I will catch you next time.